everyone. Welcome to another edition of our OA Summer Q&A panel. As a reminder, we're all OAs, the six of us who are here. So we're current UT students who are just helping to facilitate orientation, and it's a ton of fun. Glad to have you all here. Today we're going to chat about balancing schedules. I know it's definitely like a tricky topic. A lot of people are definitely concerned about it, but hopefully after watching this Q&A, we can alleviate some of those worries. So we're going to share a bit about our stories, but also some advice for you all. And we're going to answer a few questions. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you have anything specific you want to ask. And we're going to just start by introducing ourselves. So my name is Grace Castellino. I am a rising sophomore. I am a chemistry major, and I am from Austin. And my pronouns are she, her, and I'm super excited that y'all are all here today. So I'm going to pass it off to Nat to introduce herself.
Hi, y'all. I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns. I am a rising junior from Brownsville, Texas, and my major is interpersonal communication with a social work minor. And I am going to pass it to Jenna.
Hi, y'all. My name's Jenna. I'm an unspecified business major in the Macomb School of Business. I go by she, her. Again, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm going to be a rising sophomore this year, a part of the class of 2024, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about balancing schedules today. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Diana.
Hi, my name's Diana. My pronouns are she, her. I am from Bella Vista, Arkansas. I'm a rising senior, and I am majoring in art history with a minor in arts administration and management. I'll pass it on to Daniel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm a rising sophomore, government major business minor from El Paso, Texas. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll pass it over to Jorge.
Hi, guys. My name is Jorge. I'm a second year chemical engineering major. I use pronouns he, him, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Awesome. Thank you all. So we're going to start with the questions now. So question 1, can I maintain being a full-time student with a part-time job? So I'm going to pass this off to Daniel and Jenna to answer.
Definitely. One thing I will keep in mind, though, is that you want to try and find a job that not only fits your class schedule, so you also have time to attend all your classes, but kind of fits your lifestyle. And that can look a little bit different for everyone. But like for me, I'd rather have a job that's closer to campus or even on campus. And there are definitely a lot of job opportunities in and around campus. And another thing that's important is that you want to make sure you practice good time management, especially at your free time when you're not in class or at work, so that you can still have fun and maintain good grades in your studies.
Yeah, I totally agree. So this past semester, I personally worked about 20 to 30 hours a week, all being a STEM major. So it was pretty difficult at times, but I learned how to best allocate and prioritize my time, which really helped me stay on track, keep my job, and then still have fun with my friends during a hard week of work. I will say I totally am in agreement with Daniel with the getting a job, at least if not on campus, pretty close to campus. I was able to bring my car to campus, but still getting out of the dorm into the parking garage, commuting to your job, it can be pretty time consuming, and it's something that you don't really realize. But I would say personally try to keep a job within at least 15 minutes of the campus, and if I can do it, then you totally can too.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome advice about on-campus jobs or having jobs close to campus. So nice. All right, question 2. How can I make friends and have fun while maintaining my studies? So I'll give a little bit of advice myself and then pass it on to Nat. So for making friends in general, I met a lot of people through my dorm and through organizations I was in. So I definitely recommend, getting involved anywhere you're living or in any clubs you want to be in. Another way to keep up with your friends while also doing well in school is maybe studying with your friends or doing homework together. Even if you're not the same major, you can all just go to the same building, maybe the Student Activity Center, the Union. Those two have really great study spots, or a library. Just do your work together. And it's also really nice to meet new people in your classes and make study groups, because then you can get to know people while also being prepared for your quizzes and tests.
Yeah, making friends while keeping up in class can definitely be difficult, especially during exam weeks and things like that. but the key in my experience is to keep a consistent and strict schedule to study. Forcing yourself to study at the same time every day is a great way to stay on track while still finding time to make friends in your free time. And another tip I have is to join an academic focused organization where you can not only meet new people, but also socialize with students that have similar goals and interests as you.
Yeah, those are some great tips, Nat. Definitely joining those academic orgs and keeping those strict schedules. So question 3. How can I prepare for a busy week, especially balancing those social, work, and school obligations? So I will again pass it off to Daniel and Jenna.
Thank you. So a busy week in college is almost unavoidable. You will get it at some point. But one thing I like to keep in mind is that I never want to let it surprise me. But I want a busy week to take me by surprise. And the way I kind of avoid that is by keeping track of all of the important events, any tests, any project deadlines well in advance. So if I'm going to have a busy week, I can see it coming and I can prepare for it. And that can look multiple different ways. I can start my projects earlier. If it's something that I can move or postpone, I might want to do that. And of course, if you're already in a busy week, then prioritizing your work is the best way to ensure you stay on track.
I couldn't second that enough. Personally, I really like to keep like a big 12-month planner, and then I'll whip out all my syllabi at the beginning of the semester, and I'll write down every single important date I have, so I'm never caught off guard. But also, so for me, I really like to start my weeks off, especially if I know a busy week is on the way. I like to start with something to relax myself. So, it can be like a hot bath, a walk with my friends, or just kind of like taking care of myself, just to kind of get into a calm mindset. So I know I'm not really frazzled during the week. I also like to make to-do lists, and then like I said, I can go through my calendar and kind of look in like weeks ahead to see if I have exams coming up. I remember my first semester my freshman year, I had a week. It was the 4th week of college, and I had 4 exams in 1 week, but at least it didn't catch me off guard and I had it written down. So it was pretty hectic, but I was able to take my time and prepare myself, get relaxed, and it was all great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome tips. Awesome tips. Definitely important to like take care of yourself before those busy weeks. And it's definitely good to like be prepared so you know when those busy weeks are coming. Yeah. So question 4, and I know this one is probably like very scary for some people, something people are very worried about, but how do you catch up if you fall behind in school because of work? So I will pass it off to Diana first and then Jorge.
Yeah, so I've gotten behind before. I'd like to say that I'm a perfect student, but I'm not. Life happens and you get behind whether you like mean to or not. But the best thing that I have found to do when that happens is to just make a schedule for yourself. Like, I'm going to get this many assignments done today, and then I'm going to get this many done tomorrow. Don't make an impossible schedule. Don't be like, I'm going to get the 10-page paper done in one night. But do try to make it a feasible plan. And if you feel like you can't do it by yourself, you can ask your professor if you can have some extra time. What I found has helped is if I like actually make like a schedule on like an Excel sheet and then send it to them saying, hey, could I have this much time for each of these assignments? And sometimes they're willing to give you that time because they understand that life happens before school sometimes. And some people are working more than they are schooling. So it's very understandable. But if you feel like you're getting way too overwhelmed, somewhere you can go is the CMHC, which is the Counseling and Mental Health Center. You can find it at the Student Services Building. If you're feeling overwhelmed or it's like an emergency because like you're freaking out, they do emergency like meetings with you if you need. But there's also like a bunch of different like groups that they have that you can talk with other students and kind of relate. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, definitely agreeing with Diana said. I think scheduling is really important and those resources really important as well. Another skill that I would like to add to that is communication. I really think communication is key in college, especially when starting to fall behind in school because of work. You can always communicate with the professors to reach out to them if the work goes to be a bit overwhelming, just to work something around your schedule. And then also communication at work. Sometimes your employer may not see that you may have a big workload for the week. So you can always communicate with them to see if they can accommodate for those classes and the extra time needed outside of class for homework, studying, for any upcoming tests. And like Diana mentioned, there is a CMHC resource, and there's also the Sanger Learning Center available on campus. The Sanger Learning Center offers free tutoring services, including like scheduling one-on-one appointments with another peer student. And they also serve as like academic coaches. So definitely that resource is available to y'all in case y'all start to feel a bit behind in school.
Yeah, great answers, both of you. The CMHC is definitely a great resource, so check it out if you need it. And don't be afraid to talk to your professors. They can be, or hopefully will be, very, very understanding. Most of them are. So definitely don't be scared to reach out to them. But moving on, we can go on to question 5. How do we balance social commitments between like hanging out with friends, social orgs, but also like school? And I'll pass it off to Diana and then Nat.
So for me, what I do is I make sure that I have like a couple days in the week that are dedicated to just resting and chilling. Usually that's my Fridays and Saturdays. Sometimes I have to give those up because there's like a big project or a big test. But for the most part, I try and keep those days free so that like if a friend's like, do you want to hang out? I can be like, yeah, I don't have anything on this day. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you'll have an org meeting in the middle of the week, or sometimes your friend is like, I can't meet any other time than like Tuesday. And when that happens, I try to have like a 30-minute buffer between like when I'm going to the org or when I'm meeting with a friend, between like whatever I'm coming from, like whether it be a class or a job, just so I have some time to decompress and like get my head out of like the school/work mindset and be like, okay, this is fun time. Also just keeping a planner and marking down like fun events at the same as if they were like assignments or something helps, so that you can be like, oh, okay, I have to do this. And taking time for yourself is really important. So don't like, there are going to be some times where it's like you don't have a week with anything fun, but if you can help it, try to keep it so you have at least one meeting with a friend or at least one org that's fun.
Yeah, I definitely have to second the planner, whether it's like a written planner or a Google Calendar. I used Google Calendar this year, and I would put, I mean, down to the hour, like I would say like lunch with this friend, because it's really helpful just for keeping on track. But my best piece of advice for this kind of comes down to self-discipline a little bit, which is really hard to practice in college. I definitely struggled with it. But a rule that I held myself to, and that I have continued to hold myself through all throughout college, is to always finish assignments and your work before doing anything social. And making that a rule within yourself is really efficient, because it almost makes it like, you know, that you have to do your work before you do something social and fun. And my other tip is to try to treat school like a 9-to-5 job. And what I mean by that is, if you study and you do your assignments Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, then more likely than not, your evenings and weekends will be free. So that's another great tip that y'all can try to practice.
Thank you, Nat and Diana. That was super good advice, especially the last thing you said about the 9-to-5 job. I'm gonna have to incorporate that into my own life. But yeah, so we'll move on. It's our last question. But again, feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you have anything else you want to ask. But our last question is how to stay track in classes, like balancing all your classes. So I'll take this one a little bit and then Jorge can continue on with it. But my best piece of advice, I know everyone stresses so much, but having a planner, so important, whether it's like a paper, which is what I prefer, but also like electronic totally works as well. It's just good to have like all your weeks planned out. What I like to do is at the beginning of each semester, when all the professors post their syllabi and stuff, I'll go through, read them, and then like mark down all the important like days, all the important like tests and quizzes and stuff. So nothing's gonna like catch me by surprise, that I'm like ready for everything. But yeah, Jorge, if you'd like to continue with that.
Yeah, well, thank you, Grace. That was wonderful. I definitely agree with the planning. Planning ahead is definitely really crucial in staying on track of your classes and organizing all those assignments into a planner, and just spreading them across your week really helps lessen that workload every single week. Just try not to put like too many assignments in one single day because you're trying to rush to get something done. But yeah, just remember where your priorities lie within your classes. Like if you have an upcoming exam or something, make sure you dedicate some time studying for that exam. So deadlines are really important here. And one thing, like Natalie mentioned before, if you're trying to do something more of a social aspect, try to get it done now, the assignment, so you don't have to do it later. It's always nice to have that free time. And then another piece of advice that I personally use all the time is that between your classes, don't see it as free time. Use that time wisely to do a quick assignment, to look over what the next lecture may be, or something just to keep you busy during that time that's also productive and towards your like workload. So yeah, just some hustle habits, keep them up.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great answer. And definitely, yeah, in those breaks between classes, don't waste them. It's definitely helpful to just do a little assignment, even if the break's only like half an hour, you know. You can still get something done in that. But that is actually all of our questions for today. So if you do have any last minute questions, put them in the chat. You can totally reach out to your OA if you've gone through orientation or if you're coming to orientation. Feel free to talk to them then. But yeah, I hope y'all learned something about like balancing schedules. I hope this hopefully alleviated some worries, helped give y'all some advice. But that is it. So bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching.